And this illness, whether all goes? Oh, I was terribly sick, she complains artlessly. The most famous hermit Agafya Lykova told how she was cured of a mysterious infection. And without drugs, on their own. Recall that for 33 years Agafya Karpovna has been living alone in the wilderness near the Aranat River, now it is the territory of the Kakhovsky Nature Reserve. In the impenetrable forests, her family of old believers fled from the persecution of the ungodly authorities. So, they spent 4 decades as recluses, until geologists stumbled upon them. The famous Lykovs were made by the journalist of Komsomolskaya Pravda Vasily Peskov. He told the world the history of the family and kept in touch with her until the last. In 1988, Agafya's father, Karp Osipovich, died. She was left alone, although, "I am not alone, I am with God," Agafya always corrects. And he continues to carry out his spiritual watch. The whole life of the 77-year-old hermit is hard work and prayer. But the years take their toll, it becomes more and more difficult to manage the estate. Therefore, the inspectors of the reserve took the grandmother under the wing. It's no secret that Grandma doesn't celebrate New Year's Eve. Her explanation is this. This holiday was introduced by Peter, it is not Christian. This means that Karpovna has a strict attitude towards him. Holidays for Agafya are mainly church events. And church holidays are personal. She rejoices, congratulates, dresses up. As for Christmas, she said this. When they lived in a family, they did not give gifts to each other. It was not accepted. What gifts in the taiga? But at the same time they held Christmas services. And they are very long, sometimes more than 6 hours. For an unprepared person, it is very difficult. And for Agafya, it's a common thing. Despite the years of isolation, Agafya Karpovna remains open like a child. Always asks what's new on the mainland. He has long known about the terrible diseases that have appeared in recent years. He worries and prays for everyone. Last fall, a mysterious illness attacked the hermit herself, although only vaccinated people are allowed to see her, and then only with the permission of the reserve's management. But no matter how hard you try, you can't track everyone. It happens that visiting fishermen slip by. Maybe someone brought the infection. I was terribly sick, Karpovna complained to her friends. I thought, that's it, I won't get out. For 1 week she could neither eat nor drink. I didn't even dig up the potatoes. Such a terrible disease. Where did it come from? I didn't even take medicine anymore. Nothing helped. High temperature, cough, wild weakness, broke the whole body, so she describes her feelings. But what exactly it was is hard to say. One thing is clear. The body of the taiga woman managed to cope with the disease. She was seriously ill, but she was able to recover. On their own, this time without medication. Although, in general, Agafya allows herself medicines, even antibiotics. In the meantime, I haven't used any at all before. And then it was influenced by priests, spiritual fathers. Convinced that the drugs can be taken. And she gave herself a break. But apparently not this time. However, a complete recovery has yet to be made. After the illness, the left hand began to shake violently, Karpovna shares. I don't know what happened to her. Now for the hermit is the most severe time, winter. Go and draw water from the frozen river. Firewood also needs to be carried from below. And all this on a steep slope. Melt the stove, knead the dough for bread, cook food for the cattle. And she has a large farm, 6 goats alone. True, now they are not milked, and the hens are not laying. But for autumn and winter, this is a common phenomenon. Yes, she does not complain, she cooks cereals, makes decoctions from fruits. However, there are supplies and help. Deacon Georgi has been living near Karpovna since autumn, and when necessary, he helps out with housework. It's good that they managed to restore Agafya's old house before the snow, which suffered a fire in early August 2021. The chimney was overheated, the roof was taken up. As a result, the roof burned down 30 square meters, one of the walls was damaged. She built this hut herself, ironically, then firemen helped her, they brought timber. No, this is not a Tyatan's house, but the main house. The largest, where there were all the icons of liturgical old books. In it she lived and prayed. So the fire was a big blow for Agafya. I looked out the window, the hut was on fire. She recalls, the wall caught fire, the flame flew out into the wild. We began to take out icons and books. I shouted, take water from the barrels, pour it. And let's run herself, look for the stairs. Then I saw, standing by the hut. She put it in a corner against the wall, climbed in with a bucket, poured it out. There is not a second to lose in a fire. And then they didn't let me in. Most of all, the hermit was worried about icons and books. Several times she herself tried to throw herself into the fire in order to endure the most precious thing. But, fortunately, she was kept, everything was saved. Lucky, there were people at the Zamka. We found a motor pump, started it. They pumped water from the river, so they were able to put out the fire. Only the upper part burned down, the attic and the roof. Before winter, the roof was closed, sheathed inside and out with clapboard, and the ceiling was insulated. The house has become good. Here she settled. The new house, donated by patron Oleg Deripaska, Agafya has not yet had time to settle in. Too many events and experiences have piled on her. So for a while she settled in him assistant George. After all, it is impossible to occupy the same house with a man as a hermit. And she herself continues to live in the old hut, praying, her own. Please subscribe to the channel, press the notification bell, rate this video and chat in the comments about the family of famous old believers. I also ask you to go to other videos about Agafya Lykova, that you now see in the end screens. Thank you all for watching.